Welcome to the first official episode of Lead Like. Wait, what's that? First episode? Well, moving forward, we're going to be switching the format away from the show Ted Lasso, even though we may pop back in on that show from time to time. But now we're going to be exploring great leadership principles from different areas of life, whether they be real-life coaches, executives, or other forms of TV or media of some sort. Lead Like is our Piata leadership training series, all about taking moments from everyday life and breaking them down in practical ways that you can have an impact on your day-to-day. Today's message is brought to you by grit. You know, like a piece of sandpaper. There are different levels of grit that you can have, going from coarse all the way to ultra fine. Depending on what you're using it for, you'll need to select a specific option. Now, grit is defined as a positive, non-cognitive trait based on a person's perseverance of effort, combined with their passion for a particular long-term goal or end state. But what does it mean to have grit or to be gritty? Now, it's not the same as the mascot of the NHL team, the Philadelphia Flyers. And it's not the same as doing the gritty. And it's definitely not the same as gritty doing the gritty. Having grit means that you're determined to be better, for longer, and stronger than anyone else. It means that no matter what you're up against, no matter how rough your circumstances are, you're going to weather the storm and beat out the competition. Grit means you're going to win. This brings us to today's Lead Like with Dan Campbell of the Detroit Lions. Now, Dan Campbell is an odd duck. At first appearance, he seems a little bit like a meathead. He's been a part of football his whole life, playing in the NFL from 1999 to 2009, and then becoming an assistant coach afterwards, developing through the ranks until he became the head coach of the Detroit Lions in 2021. For those of you that don't know about the Detroit Lions, they were bad. And I mean historically bad. And by that I mean that in 2008, they didn't win a single game. For over a decade, they were just never able to get out of first gear. Sure, they made the playoffs here and there, but ultimately they lost each time, right away. Enter Dan Campbell. Dan immediately began adopting the culture of grit in his locker room. He clearly defined that this was a characteristic that everyone needed to commit to be a part of his team.
It was September of 2021, and you were just getting started here. And I asked you to give me one word that would describe your locker room and the identity of that team at that time. Do you have any recollection of what that word might have been?
No, it would probably be something like gritty.
Boom. Is that the word that you would still use today?
Absolutely. And you talk about a bunch of dudes that were just going to battle, and we didn't quite have the horses we got now, but those guys, you talk about laying it on the line and going toe-to-toe with anybody and willing to fight to the end. I'll never forget those guys. I appreciate guys that lay it on the line. Maybe you're outnumbered, maybe you're not the most talented, and maybe the odds are against you, and nobody believes in you, and I respect the hell out of those guys that'll fight, you know, and that's what we're about. That's what we're about, man. That's how we roll here. I mean, that was me. I didn't have talent. I mean, I had enough talent to play in the league. I was fortunate to get a number of years, but ultimately, I wanted to please my coach. I wanted to please my teammates. And I didn't ever want a teammate to look at me and say, man, that guy, he doesn't do anything for us. He doesn't finish plays. He's not accountable. And I took that stuff personal.
I didn't ever want a teammate or a coach saying, that guy isn't accountable. What a message from Coach. So today, here's how you can lead like Campbell. Set the expectation within your four walls with your team. We're not asking for anything more than you to give your best each shift, every day. It's not about who's the most talented. In fact, researcher Angela Duckworth discovered that through studies with students that grit is actually the #1 predictor of success in an individual. Not talent, not a high IQ, and not being in the right place at the right time. So set the vision of what you expect to accomplish with your team. Share the why that you have for doing what you do. We talked last month about helping others find their why, right? This is a great time for you to share yours with them. When you set a vision with clear expectations for everyone around you, and you show and provide accountability to meet the standards, the only thing that can hold you back is your effort level. If you develop a gritty team, there is nothing that you can't do. So be gritty. Have your team be gritty, and you can win today and tomorrow. And that's just one way that you can lead like Campbell.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? I think it's that right there. It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. All you guys that were in here. It's our core foundation, man, grit. And what does it mean? Really, in a nutshell, I think it means this. We'll go a little bit longer, we'll push a little harder, and we'll think a little deeper and a little sharper. It means that normally I'm 100%, 85%, man. That's all I need to beat you. All right, now, there's a number of teams as it equates to, just bear with me, the ocean, right? There's a number of teams, they just barely get to the water. You got to get in the water to compete. A number of teams, that's all they get to. Then there's a number of teams, they are in the shallows. And that's what we got to be. That's who we have to be, because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes. We'll go as long as it takes because we can and we choose to. That's who we are. That's who we have to be. Now, it goes without saying, the teams that are dangerous in the shallows and the abyss are probably the top 4 or 5 in this league. That's who they are. And that's what we're working to. Last thing I'm going to say, I'm keeping this brief. The last thing I'm going to say is this. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no light. There's a song Metallica has, No Leaf Clover, and it says, man, when it comes to the soothing light at the end of your tunnel, it's just a freight train coming your way. Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.